prescribed a medication that helped him get back on his feet.
I didn't know flu was so serious until I heard Bill say he felt like he'd been hit by a truck. He missed a big meeting at work.
Well, thank goodness Jeanette had gotten her flu shot. Because, you know, she's expecting.
What? Oh, man.
I guess that was another thing you guys didn't know either.
A message from the Department of Health and Human Services.
Attention students. Apply now for the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association Student Broadcaster Scholarship, and you could be awarded $2,500 toward the 2020-2021 academic year. You must be a Massachusetts resident with a declared major in the communications field and currently enrolled or planning to enroll in a broadcast program at an accredited 2- or 4-year college. Deadline to apply is Friday, April 17th. WGAO is a proud participant in the MBA Student Broadcaster Scholarship. For an application, visit massbroadcasters.org/scholarship. That's massbroadcasters.org/scholarship. This has been a public service message of Power 88. The Real ID Act establishes minimum security standards for license issuance and production and prohibits federal agencies from accepting for certain purposes driver's licenses and identification cards from states not meeting the Act's minimum standards. The purposes covered by the Act are accessing federal facilities, entering nuclear power plants, and boarding federally regulated commercial aircraft. Are you Real ID ready? Starting October 1st, all Americans will need a Real ID to pass airport security to board a flight in the United States. A Real ID, generally marked with a star in the upper right-hand corner, is different from a traditional driver's license and can be obtained at your state's DMV. If you do not have a Real ID, there are other forms of identification accepted, such as a U.S. passport or passport card, enhanced driver's license, or U.S. military ID. Learn more at tsa.gov/realid.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Ryan.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
I work.
I work.
I work. And I want to keep working.
I work for the challenge.
Because people are counting on me to provide for my family.
And I'm employed today because we work together.
Work together.
Work together. When my life changed in an instant.
When I got hurt.
Needed support.
We made a plan.
So I could come back strong.
So I could stay in the game.
Because we couldn't succeed without her.
It wasn't a matter if I could go back to work.
It was a matter of when and how.
Because working works.
Working works.
It lets me earn a living.
Be there for the team. Together, we made a plan to keep me on the field for 2,632 games in a row.
To keep me working.
America works best when all Americans can work. Ensuring workers can stay on the job or return to work following an injury or illness is essential to America's economy. To learn more, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Southeastern New England's hottest rock, Power 88, presents England College basketball.
It's a big fight feel in Franklin, Massachusetts, inside Peary Gymnasium on the campus of Dean College. It is playoff basketball once again, and it is March Madness come early for the Dean Bulldogs as they are the number 4 seed in this NECC tournament, playing host to the Elms College Blazers, who come in as the number 5 seed in the tournament. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, inside the broadcast in Franklin, Massachusetts, in Peary Gymnasium, alongside Justin Miller and Alex Fuse on the sideline. I am Brendan Howe. Pleasure to have you all along for the ride. And Justin, as the lineups are just getting set to be introduced here inside Peary Gymnasium, we have a raucous crowd on hand and a huge game tonight for both sides.
It's always interesting. You reach the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. These two teams played twice this season so far, and Dean took both contests, but you know what they say, it's always hard to beat a team 3 straight times. Let's see what happens here tonight.
And it's going to be a good one. Let's turn it over for the national anthem and public address from Dean Drucker. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem inside Peary Gymnasium, and there you could hear the roar from the crowd. Justin, they're going to play a big factor in this one tonight.
There's no doubt the whole baseball team is here tonight. This is a bigger atmosphere than a normal regular season game. It's going to be interesting. This is the playoffs, and unfortunately last year Dean got bounced in the first round. Let's see what happens. They need to win this game.
Well, Justin, let's run through the starting lineups as they're being introduced right now. We'll start with the visiting Elm College Blazers. Number 0, David Lopez and Calvin Cheek manning the backcourt. DJ Edelin, Ahmed Connor, and Tuckwell Cadell are in the front court. For the Bulldogs, on the flip side, Jordan Booker, the NECC Player of the Year, along with Kevin Clark in the backcourt. Jordan Lynch-Rexrath, Trajan Powell, and Joel Jones along the front line for head coach Rico Cabral. And Justin, last year the Bulldogs hosted a playoff game as a number 3 seed, were ultimately trounced by a number 6 seed, Newberry College, who ceases to be in this tournament and have left the conference. This year they enter the tournament as a number 4 seed, had a little bit of a lackluster regular season highlighted by an 8-game losing streak, but here they are and back and ready than ever for another playoff run.
And like I said before, these teams have already met 2 times. The last game of the regular season, Dean won the game 79-67, and earlier in the season, Dean won 107-98. So they played twice. Dean won both games, but can they make it 3 in a row? That's the real question. And Jordan Booker, the star for Dean, how good of a game is he going to have here today? He's a senior. Will it be his last game? Well, hopefully not.
Well, Davon Russell had his season ended last year, the senior for the Bulldogs, playing alongside Jordan Booker. And Booker has now taken the reins this year, and it is his team, and this is his game to lose. Bulldogs here at home, a raucous crowd. The baseball team just across from us on the bleachers, populating about half of the left side of the bleachers, Justin. They are going to need to play a big factor here at home for the Bulldogs tonight.
It's a big crowd. You know, these baseball kids are always going wild over there across from us, and I think there's even more of them this year than there were last year. So it's going to be interesting, a crazy atmosphere here tonight, and hopefully the Bulldogs can get off to the hot start that they need to get off to here tonight.
Well, last year against Newberry, they had a lead going into halftime, ultimately fell 96-90. Newberry would fall in the second round. A win for the Bulldogs will put them in the second round this year. And they would face the number 1 seeded New England College Pilgrims, who defeated the Bulldogs right here on this floor in Peer Gymnasium just a couple of weeks ago. But the Bulldogs have business to take care of here at home first against the Elms College Blazers, who they have had success against, Justin, as you mentioned before. And
a quick lineup change, as we were saying, to Karen Anderson. He moved to the bench for the Bulldogs tonight. Trajan Powell in the lineup for the Bulldogs. Could be the X factor here.
Trajan Powell, a JUCO transfer, known for his defense. Coach Rico Cabral going to him to start this playoff bout here tonight. The team's at center court, just about ready to jump it up. Ahmed Connor and Joel Jones at center court, atop the Bulldog logo. Here we go. NECC quarterfinal round 1. Lynch Rexroth takes it for the Bulldogs into the front court. They'll set up with Booker. Bulldogs finishing the season 11-14, trying to pick up their 12th win here in the first round of the playoffs. Booker, a deep three. Good! Right off the bat, the NECC Player of the Year, connecting from downtown. It's 3-0 Bulldogs.
How about that shot from downtown?
What a statement from Booker right off the bat. Cadell works his way into the front court. Just 30 seconds off the clock in this one. Cadell works it atop the key to Cheek. Now hands it off for Lopez. In between the circles, Powell comes out to go just behind the three-point arc. Now it's Cadell again, left-hand dribble on the drive into the paint. Nobody in the corner, out of bounds and a turnover.
And that's just some great defense by the Bulldogs. Great rotating there by Trajan Powell and Jordan Booker. Man-to-man defense working early for the Bulldogs.
So Elms a bit confused off the bat as Powell will take it across half court. Booker left side. Booker picked up on defense by Connor. Booker around the Rexroth screen, now has a far side right. Booker left-hand dribble around a Jones screen, works his way into the paint, gives it back to Jones. Layup up the glass is good with the right hand.
What a pass by Booker.
Jordan Booker facilitating and scoring like he's done all year. 5-0 Bulldogs early. Lopez into the forecourt. Picked up by Powell, splits the defense. Left-handed floater off of his hands, out of bounds, and another turnover.
Right now, this offense just looks really confused right now. Two passes that were going nowhere.
Joel Jones is able to step up and force the turnover. That's 2 right off the bat for Elms on their first 2 possessions. Booker backs off the left elbow, now hands off to Clark off the dribble. Clark gives it to Powell, top of the key, working his way right side, now on the baseline for Jones. His layup gets blocked, and Elms will come back the other way. Lopez, left-hand dribble into the forecourt in a hurry, wheels his way back into the corner, now leaves it for Edel on top of the key, picked up by Clark. Elms working the ball into the paint, and that's going to be Connor converting the layup.
Nice job, nice righty layup. That's some good passing that we haven't seen on the prior 2 possessions.
Connor able to find a hole in the Bulldog defense and put it up off the glass and in. 5-2 to score, 17:57 to go as Powell breaks the ankles of Lopez, unable to convert the jump shot off the back iron. Connor to Edelin, now onto the baseline for Connor, and his layup is good again. Ahmed Connor, the first 4 points of the game for Elms, and they cut the Bulldog lead down to 1. Booker picked up by Connor. Booker works his way near side, gives it to the corner now for Powell on the left. Booker's going to fire away for 3, in and out, but he got fouled.
Imagine if that one went in. This crowd would have went wild.
It looks like Connor's going to pick that one up.
Right now, you get a comfortable lead. You were up 5-0. The prior 2 possessions for Elms College, really good. Dean's interior defense needs to be a lot better on those last 2 possessions. Got to guard Connor down low.
So Jordan Booker will head to the charity stripe. A chance to extend the Bulldog lead early on in this one. 17:24 to go in the first half. Jordan Booker, a senior NECC Player of the Year. First team all NECC all 3 years in a Bulldog uniform. And you just cannot say enough about the level of play from this kid. He has been sensational for the Bulldogs in his career.
He knows how to do everything. Rebounds, assists, passes the ball, scores. He's an 84% free throw shooter.
Booker hits the first and now the second. And he'll have an opportunity for 3 here. He was fouled behind the line by Connor. Picks up his first team foul for Elms. And Coach Rico Cabral couldn't speak highly enough of Booker. When I talked to him the other day, he said his character and leadership is what he'll remember most about Booker as he hits all 3 free throws quickly up to 6 points for the senior captain. 8-4, the Bulldogs out in front. 17-18 to go. They're working it to the corner now for Lopez, right side. He'll fire away off the back iron. Booker goes up the ladder for the rebound. Can't get it. Has it ripped out of his hands. That'll be Edelin to fire away from downtown. That one wouldn't go. Rebound underneath from Cheek, who puts it back up and in.
You got to rebound the basketball. 2 rebounds. You can't do that if you're Dean.
Bulldogs up by 2, 8-6. 16:54 left in the first half. Booker backtracks his way toward the Bulldog logo at half court. Picked up by Connor defensively, now to Powell. Powell behind the three-point arc, leaves it for Jones on the right elbow. His jumper's good. Joel Jones connecting.
That's good news for the Bulldogs.
They have to pick up scoring any way that they can get it. Joel Jones averaging 5 on the season, already up to 4 to put the Bulldogs up by 4. Connor to Edelin. Over to Lopez in the left corner, picked up by Jones. Bulldogs looking like they're going with a zone here. They work it back up to the top of the key now for Connor. Lopez again on the left wing, drives baseline right at Rexroth. Count it, and 1. Rexroth will pick up the foul. There's Lopez. A chance for a three-point play.
And so far, if you're Elms College, you got to keep on going to the paint. Right now, the interior defense for Dean continues to be a problem. You got to be careful, too, because Joe Jones is someone that can pick up a lot of fouls early in games. Watch out for Oswaldo Terraz is on the bench, but right now, Dean's defense got to be better inside.
The Bulldogs do have a deep bench, Justin. That is one of their strengths as the free throw rims out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will get it back. 16:15 to go first half. Bulldogs by 2, 10-8. As Booker works his way across the timeline, now to Rexroth, far side right, up to Clark, top of the key. They work it around to Powell, left side, over to Booker. Thought about a 3 at the top of the key. Instead, will take it on the drive. Booker to the corner for Clark for 3. You bet! Kevin Clark connects from downtown. Clark finds himself on the stat sheet. He had 23 against Elms on Saturday. Shot blocked by Booker. The 3 from Edelin as Booker was able to close out. And they'll leave it for Booker in the backcourt. This crowd is loud here inside Peary Gymnasium, and the Bulldogs can feel it. Booker, he's feeling it too. Booker fires away and hits from downtown. His second 3 of the game.
There's no stopping him right now.
Bulldogs by 8, 16-8, 15 to go in the half. Lopez shake and bake, top of the key. Connor into the paint, stutter steps his way through Jones and connects on the floater.
And once again, the interior defense, Connor's going right into the paint easily.
And it's been all Connor for the Blazers so far. He's got 6. Booker, drop-off pass for Jones. He couldn't handle it. Out of bounds on the first turnover of the game for the Bulldogs as they lead it by 6, and Oswaldo Terraza set to check into the game.
Looks like a timeout.
And it looks like Elms is going to take a timeout here with 14:59 to go in the half. Let's send it down to Alex on the sideline. Alex, what do you got for us?
Well, Brendan and Justin, what a game so far. And I want to bring back, one word that Justin said leading up to the beginning of this game. And one word, playoffs. This is playoff. This is college basketball. And I know you guys are talking about Jordan Booker, and rightfully so. But this is the guy that you're talking about, the character and the leadership that Coach Cabral has said about him. Now, this is the key point. Outside and off the court, Jordan Booker is working a full-time job at a fast food restaurant right down the street. And for him, for Coach Cabral to have the opportunity to go into that fast food chain restaurant and to let Jordan Booker know that he is now the NECC Player of the Year, that is to show just how important that character and leadership that Coach Cabral was speaking of just this past week.
That was quite a video. I was watching that last night, and to get that news that you won the Player of the Year in the conference, you can't have a better feeling for the senior. And right now, he is filling up the stat sheet already with 9 of the Bulldogs' 16 points. Jordan Booker continues his amazing season. Thank you, Alex.
And that is quite a story, Justin. NECC Player of the Year, and Jordan's just one of the most humble players you'll ever meet. Has worked his tail off to become the star of this Bulldog team. As we come out of the media break here, Elms will get the ball down 6. 14:59 left in the half. Lopez across half court. Gives it to Cadell, now works it back for Smoot. Smoot for Edelin. Connor free throw line, skips a pass to Edelin. His wild layup off the front of the rim, no good. It's loose on the floor, and Booker comes out of the pile with it. Bulldogs with numbers. Booker on the drive to the basket, kicks it to the corner. Clark, triple, back rim, rebound to Rexroth. Rexroth spinning his way into the paint. His layup is good off the glass.
He's a second-team all-conference player. He's showing it right now.
What an effort on the glass as Rexroth able to convert and gets his name in the stat sheet. Bulldogs by 8. 14-10 to go in the half. Connor for Lopez, left wing. Now under the corner for Edelin. Up fakes past Rexroth and pulls up for a jumper and connects.
The Bulldogs went to a quick zone defense, and it didn't work on that last possession.
18-12. Bulldogs have been able to maintain a steady 6 to 8 point lead for the majority of this first half so far. Clark on the left wing. Pass picked off by Lopez, trying to get it to Powell. Lopez all the way for 2.
Those are the lazy passes that you need to avoid in a first-round playoff game.
And the Bulldogs a little bit lackadaisical on the offensive end that time. Booker guarded tightly by Connor. On the left wing, Booker on the drive, weaves his way into the paint, and tough shot off the glass. He gets it to go. Oh, man, Jordan Booker elevating in the paint and finding his way to the cup. 20-14. 13-14 to go in the half as Booker tips the pass out of bounds intended for Lopez.
And Booker just continues to do everything. Playing defense, tipping that last pass, already with a couple of rebounds. Really only one bad pass for him this entire game. And if he plays like this, there is no way Dean can lose this game. After he ties his shoe over there in the first row. But a good start for Booker, a good job by Dean. Lynch, Rexroth doing a good job on the inside so far. Got to continue to keep this up if you're the Bulldogs.
So Justin Feliciano into the game for the Blazers. Lopez gets it off the inbound. 12 to shoot here for the Blazers. Lopez to Feliciano, guarded by Anderson, a new entry for the Bulldogs into the game. Lopez works his way down on the elbow, passes knocked off the knee of the Bulldog, out of bounds, and the Blazers will keep it.
Could have called the kick ball also there. Basically the same thing, goes out of bounds anyway, but still 13 minutes. This is a long first half. Plenty of time for both teams.
So the Blazers will inbound side out with 4 to shoot. They get it into Feliciano, who works his way into the paint. Floater over to Razas, won't go. Rebound finds Edelin. That shot no good. Rebound batted all the way to half court, and now Booker has it in transition. Booker on the move as he gets fouled. No, they're going to call a travel there. No, Booker asking for an explanation from the near side official, but will not get one.
And if you're Elms College, you would have loved a charge on Booker there, but still, they get the ball back either way.
They get it back trailing by 6, 20-14. 12 and a half left in the first half. Lopez looking to set up the Blazer offense top of the key. On the drive, left-hand dribble, shovels to the corner for Feliciano. He'll take it baseline. Trying to sneak it by to Smoot. That pass was tipped out to half court as Edelin gets it back now. Cross-court pass for Connor. Now Lopez, left side on the wing. A deep 3. In and out. Rebound goes to Edelin as he tumbles to the floor, out of bounds with it, and the Bulldogs will get it back.
Wow. Surprised he went out of bounds there, but kind of just got forced out of bounds on that play. But if you're Dean, you need to rebound the basketball. Rebounding really becoming a problem on this last couple possessions.
And the Bulldogs, a team that inhale 40 rebounds a game. Just a tick over at 40.1 on the average. Rexroth gets it at the top of the key. Bulldogs working it around to Booker now, who takes it on the drive. Right-handed layup, he gets it to go.
What a game so far.
Jordan Booker with the soft touch off the glass. And now the Blazers back with it, trailing by 8. 22-14 as Lopez wheels his way into the paint, drops it off for Connor. Tough shot, no good, but a foul first. It'll go against Terrazas.
And that's just a great pass, and even better take if you're Connor. He already has 6 of the 14 points right now, only averages 9.5 on the season, but right now he is causing Dean's defense to really struggle, and it looks like it's going to be a timeout for Dean.
And we're going to take a media timeout at the 12-minute mark. Retroactive 16 seconds ago, rather. So the foul actually went against DeCaren Anderson. Although, Justin, I didn't really see DeCaren anywhere near that play, but they're going to give it to him. He picks up his first off the bench.
That's one of those calls that could have gone either way, but they call the foul on Anderson, but the drive by Connor's really why they called the foul on that play. Connor's obviously been the star for Elms College, but right now, Dean, you got to rebound the basketball better. You're lucky you're up by 8 points right now.
We talked about how great Jordan Booker has been all season, Justin. The leading scorer in the game so far. He's got himself up to 13 points. He's only one of 3 players returning from that playoff team that lost last season. Jordan Booker, Oswaldo Terrazas, and DeCaren Anderson, the 3 who are on the floor right now, returning. But the interesting fact about that game, Justin, Dean ended up losing by 6, but Terrazas and Anderson only played a combined 5 minutes and didn't score. Right, so there's some experience coming back from last season's team, but not a lot of guys that play that many minutes on this year's team. Dean lost a lot from last year. Showtime, obviously a huge player on that team last year. Randolph Thurman was a big loss, and Armani Baker, obviously someone on the inside that Dean desperately misses. But right now, it's all about tonight. You're up by 8 points, not even halfway through the first half yet. Plenty of time left for both these teams. Jordan Booker continues to amaze already with 13 points. And you can talk about the stars that Dean features, but for Elms, they've really done it with what they have. They've made it work. No players first or second team all-conference, whereas Dean had 2. Booker, of course, NECC Player of the Year and all-conference first team. And Justin, you touched upon it earlier, Rexroth all-conference second team, as Connor at the free throw line converts the first. He's up to 7 points in his own right, the leading scorer for the Blazers. Yeah, having a heck of a game right now, keeping the Blazers right in this one. His second up off the back rim. Rebound finds Powell. Might have jinxed him a little bit there. Tyrone Smith-McCray up off the bench. He's set to check in at the next dead ball. 11:35 to go first half. Bulldogs by 7. Booker against Connor, top of the key. Screen from Rexroth. Jordan fires away, no good. Rebound tipped by Powell and saved for the moment. Right to Rexroth. Count it, and a foul. Wow, that's what we're talking about. He's on the second team all-conference for a reason, and on the inside, he's very hard to stop. They're going to need him desperately in this playoff game. Rexroth averaging 12.6 a game. The second leading scorer on the team behind Jordan Booker. So he'll get to the free throw line for a pair here, or rather one, to convert the three-point play as Elms trying to get a last-minute substitution into the game. That's number 24, Nicholas Brown. Something we talked about a little before. Both these teams aren't going to go as deep as in their benches as they usually would. Let's see how deep the Bulldogs go in this game. Well, the Bulldogs only had to deal with 7 players for Newberry last year, 2 off the bench. There's a free throw from Rexroth. Falls right through, nothing but net. The biggest lead. You're right, Justin, up by 10, 25-15, 11:15 to go in the half. Connor has it in between the circles, leaves it for Feliciano, guarded by Booker, and looks like Booker's going to pick up a foul on the way by. And you do not want Booker to get in foul trouble. If you can pick anyone on this team, Booker, you better be careful in this playoff game. You cannot afford to have him sit. He can play all 40 minutes if he wants. He played all 40 minutes in the playoff bout last year. They played all 40 minutes back on Saturday when these two teams saw each other last. That game was 4 home games. If Elms had won, the Bulldogs would have traveled up to Elms to play in this game, but it's the Blazers here on the road as Lopez works around a screen set by Edelin, gets all the way into the paint, tried to fire a pass to Feliciano, but it finds the corner. That three from Brown off the mark. Rebound loose and a foul. Not sure who that's going to go against. Edelin is going to pick one up. Looks like he tugged the jersey of Anderson underneath, and Anderson knew it. Was pleading his case. And that's already 2 fouls on him, so he better be careful. He's been pretty good in this game. He averages 13 points per game. That would be a big loss if he has to go to the bench. And the leading scorer for this Blazer team at 13.2. That's the thing that stands out about this Blazer team, a steady attack offensively. They're going to have to slow down the guy with the ball right now, Jordan Booker, as he fires a pass to Rexroth, intercepted for the moment, but tipped out of bounds off Feliciano. And if you're the Blazers, I think you could double team Booker as this game moves along. You're down by 10 points right now. You cannot let Booker beat you this entire game. So Anderson will inbound far side across from us, and they'll get it to Booker right off the inbound. 10:33 to go in the half. Bulldogs by 10, 25-15. Booker double team, skip to behind the back pass for Anderson, who corrals it just in front of the Elms bench. 3 to shoot. Booker has got to put it up. And banks it home. Wow, what a shot. Oh, man. A sensational first half performance from Booker. As the shot clock's winding down. Booker with a soft touch off the glass. It's Lopez on the drive left side. Flips it out for Feliciano. Right wing 3. Back rim. Rebound to Rexroth. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Booker gets it off the pass from Rexroth. His 3 no good, but the rebound finds Jordan underneath. loose for a moment, and Feliciano comes out of the pig pile with it.
That was danger time to go 15.
The lead stands at 12 for the time being. Elms with the ball. Lopez working his way to the top of the key against Anderson. Fires away as Anderson went in for the closeout, and he'll draw the foul.
And if you're Coach Cabral, there is no need for Anderson to do that. That's going to be 3 shots. I think he was behind the line, too, on that. Let's see what the refs say.
I believe he was. Refs confirming with the scores table that it'll be 3 shots, and it will. That's a smart play if you're David Lopez. You know that Anderson's going to come hard for the closeout. Hesitated a little bit, went up, and was able to draw the whistle.
Yeah, as you said, to Karen Anderson, he overcommits on that, and there's no reason to do that. He's coming off this bench this game. He's a senior. You got to be smarter if you're to Karen Anderson.
Well, Lopez's first free throw is good, and Lopez, not a guy that's known for strong free throw shooting, just 64% on the season. That's below the team average of 65.
See if he can make all 3 to get this back to 10.
His second, in and out. And that gets a roar from the baseball team here in attendance. Nick Sampek will check into the game in favor of Oswaldo Terrazas. He'll hit the bench for a rest.
And Nick Sampek's a player you got to watch out for if you're the Blazers. When him and Booker are in the game together, they play very well off of each other.
27-16. Lopez fires away. His third free throw off the mark, but the rebound to Brown. Lost it for a moment, and it'll go out of bounds off of his knee. Sampek was right there to tangle with him for it.
If you think the Elms Blazers are a little nervous shooting free throws on that end, wait till they're on this end when the baseball team's yelling right in their face.
You got that right. It's a whole nother ball game out on this end. But the Bulldogs, the beneficiaries of the crowd right now, up by 11 as Booker. Hesitation dribble pass, Connor to the paint, layup no good, rebound to Rexroth underneath, back up and in.
Big time rebound, 7 points already for Lynch Rexroth.
5 behind a season average of 12. Feliciano leaves it for Titus Arnett, and now it's Cadell. Feliciano guarded by Booker, thought about a 3 instead. Gives it up for Brown. Brown on the drive, kicks it up to Lopez on the left side wing against Anderson. Lopez on the drive, tough shot off the glass, no good, and a foul is going to go against the Bulldogs.
It's a little late call right there, it looked like. Good job by him going into the lane, but still no reason for the Bulldogs to foul. Looked like pretty good defense on that possession, but the Blazers are hanging around right now. They're getting to the free throw line.
And they're down 13 right now, 29-16 with 8:54 left in the half. Lopez back to the line where he just missed 2 free throws. An opportunity for 2 more right here to get the lead down to 11 potentially. First one, that's good.
If you want to win any game, especially a playoff game, you need to make your free throws. You already lost to the Bulldogs twice in the regular season. You do not want to make it 3 in a row. You don't want to lose the game because you're missing your free throws, that's for sure.
Lopez's second, that's good, hits both that time. His last 3 points have come from the charity stripe. He's up to 7 on the game.
It's really been Lopez and Connor for the most part for the Blazers.
Booker into the forecourt, working against Connor. Looking to give it to the corner for Sampek. Now right back to Booker. Way behind the 3-point arc. Screen step by McCray. Booker won't use it. Stutter steps his way into the paint. Euro step floater, no good. The rebound comes to Feliciano. Blazers in a hurry, head of steam with numbers. Connor stops at the 3-point line, goes right at Rexroth. Turnaround jumper, in and out. Rebound, Clark had it for a moment and lost it. Rebound still loose, and Sampek comes away with it, but a foul.
Wow. Back and forth action here. The Bulldogs got a little lucky on that last possession. The Blazers had a rebound right under the basket, fell right out of his hands. An opportunity that you cannot miss in this game.
That foul's going to go against Cadell there. So 8 minutes to go. 29-18 the score. Bulldogs by 11 and the basketball. Booker into the forecourt now for Sampek, top of the key. Gives it over to Clark on the left side. Now Booker runs baseline through, gives it over to Sampek on the right wing. Sampek will fire away and banks it in! Nick Sampek from downtown getting in on the action.
I'm telling you, him and Booker look really good when they're on the floor together.
Edelin all the way to the paint. His runner's no good. A wild shot off the front of the rim. Bulldogs by 14 and the ball. Booker into the forecourt. Nearly stripped from behind, but finds Clark in the corner. Now gets it back as the Bulldogs will look to reset with 20 to shoot. 7.5 minutes to go in the half. Rexroth closing in for a screen. Booker won't take it. Tried to split the defense and lost the handle. And a turnover as the Blazers come in transition. Here's Lopez. Got the step on Sempek, but his layup no good. Rexroth to Clark. Back and forth we go here at Peary Gym. Clark spinning into the paint, out of bounds off the foot of Lopez. He's coming back to D up in transition, and a plethora of substitutions on hand here for the Blazers. And we'll take another media timeout. Let's send it over to Alex. Alex, what do you have for us?
Look, to be completely honest with both of you guys, Justin and Brendan, I thought this would be a completely different game. I thought it would have been close. When you look at the score, it's not really that close to what I was thinking of. Within 5 to 6 digits, that's what I was thinking. This Elms College team is going to have to be very careful going forward with the rest of the first half, but also the second half. They kind of play to their crowd, almost like an arrogant playing style. They're not arrogant, but that's their playing style. So if going forward in the second half, if you're Dean, you have to be careful that they don't play too much to this crowd advantage, what we're seeing benefit Dean in this first half.
Well, I think to your point, Alex, there's a difference between being cocky and confident in your ability to come back in a game. Elms only trails by 14. There's still a ton of time left in this game. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. But Justin, we talked about earlier how it's so hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. The margin of victory in the first 2 games for these 2 teams, the Bulldogs took both by 9 and 11 respectively. But right now, the Bulldogs at home here. That's the difference between the last game. The Elms had a 10-point lead in that last game back on Saturday to close out the regular season. But right now, Elms just seems a little bit lost offensively. They're trying to find themselves.
Yeah, it's a little surprising to me, too. The Bulldogs are up 14 points. Seems like it should be a little closer the way they're rebounding, especially in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this first half. But right now, the Bulldogs are right where they want to be, trying to extend this lead a little more.
32-18. The Bulldogs will get the ball underneath their own basket. Booker set to inbound. Tyrone Smith-McRae and Sempek still in the game off the bench for Rico Cabral right now. Clark dribble handoff with Booker in between the circles. 17 to shoot for Dean. Booker thought about firing away from way downtown. Instead, will take it around a Smith-McRae screen, and he's going to draw the foul on it.
Looks like they're calling it on the Bulldogs right there. And Booker got to be a little bit more careful on a couple of these passes he's made on the last couple of possessions. No reason to force things, especially when you're up by 14 points.
And Tyrone Smith-McRae picks up the foul. He checks out. Joel Jones back in favor of him. But Justin, you're absolutely right to your point. A 14-point lead. No need to force. Slow the ball down and play your game. And here comes Smoot on the drive, and he takes a big tumble there. And they're going to call a travel violation. So another turnover, the 5th of the game for Elms so far. With 7 minutes to go still in the first half. Smoot with a wild attempt at a drive into the paint there, and a turnover as Booker takes it across half, and he'll give to Sempek on the far side right. Sempek to Clark. Clark for 3 on the wing. It's good. Kevin Clark from downtown. His 2nd of the game. He's got 6.
Scored 22 last game. Could be an X factor today.
Smoot all the way to the bucket. Left-handed layup is good. Shimmy shake right past Jones to the basket. No problem converting there. Smoot averages just above 10 a game. Trying to propel Elms back into the game as they trail by 15, 35-20. Clark, another one. Couldn't bank it home that time. Too strong with it off the back iron. Feliciano ahead of steam across half court. Working against Sempek, backs his way into the paint, and another travel. And he knew it that time. He took too many steps there as Sempek backed off him defensively. Feliciano was looking for the post up there, didn't find Sempek's body. And another turnover, make it 6.
They went from 4 turnovers to 6 turnovers in about 30 seconds. That can't happen when you're down 15.
Joel Jones checks out. Rexroth back in. Along with Trajan Powell as Sempek takes it on the drive, got stripped from behind. And Elms takes it the other way. Smoot on the move to the basket. Layup no good, too short with it. And Powell corrals the board. Here comes Booker on the drive to the corner. Clark, triple. No good, but it looks like another foul is going to go against Feliciano here as Clark took a dive in the corner.
And that is something, especially when you're down 15. You don't want to foul him. Looks like it's going to be, should be 3 shots. He's saying it's 2 shots. His foot must have been on the line over there in the corner. And the coach in front of us, not too happy. That's Rob Southall, the head coach of Elms.
So Kevin Clark will be at the charity stripe here.
At the line is Kevin Clark.
He hits the first to give the Bulldogs a 16-point edge. to Karen Anderson back into the game.
And Nick Sampek, who came out of the game, great energy off the bench. Heck of a job by him in his couple minutes he played.
And that's been his role all season. Defensive specialist as Clark's free throw no good. Rexroth tied up underneath. And Elms will get it off the possession arrow. Smoot was battling for it underneath with Rexroth. The two big men in the front court for each respective side. 5:42 to go first half. Bulldogs by 16. Here's Cadell against Booker. Now to Feliciano, who worked his way onto the left wing. Pass tipped by Anderson as Feliciano was trying to go cross court, out of bounds, and the Blazers will get the ball back side out.
Just a couple lazy passes on these last few possessions. Passes that really just aren't going anywhere. You got to be more careful if you're the Blazers.
Inbound comes to Brown. Brown over to Smoot, guarded by Powell. Now they work it back over from Caleb McClain. Cadell, step back three over Booker. Can't find it as the rebound is batted around and goes to McClain. McClain on back underneath for Cadell, who puts it back up and in. So a good fight there from the freshman McClain on the boards.
And that's a beautiful pass. One of the best passes of the night right there for the Blazers.
Bulldogs by 14, 36-22. Booker trying to answer. Can't do it. Rebound to Smoot. Here come the Blazers on the move. They have numbers. On the break, Cadell underneath. Finishes over Rexroth. Back-to-back buckets for Cadell. Now Elms right back in it. 4:41 to go in the half. Anderson will fire away. No good. Rebound to Rexroth for a moment, trying to bat it to Booker. But it's Feliciano who gets it in the backcourt, and now a foul on Clark, and that's just unnecessary, Justin.
If you're the Bulldogs, these last two possessions, I hate to say it, very, very ugly. You're forcing up threes when you're down, when you're up by 14, now up by 12, and now you're fouling 7 fouls. It's 1-1. If you're the Bulldogs, if you're Coach Cabral, I'd call a timeout right now.
That'll put Justin Feliciano at the free throw line.
You have a comfortable lead in this game. There's no reason to be chucking up these threes, not really passing the ball these last couple possessions.
Not at all. As Feliciano puts up his free throw. No good.
Thank God they're missing free throws.
And the Bulldogs are certainly benefiting from that right now. A couple of lackluster possessions in sequence as Clark has it top of the key. Now over to Booker. Works his way into the paint, goes right into the teeth of the defense, loses the ball, out of bounds. Another turnover. Brown was able to step up defensively and force Booker into some panic. And Justin, that's 3 straight possessions in a row with the Bulldogs looking a little bit shaky here.
Dean needs to remember what they did these last 15 minutes before now. They were passing the ball, getting good looks, getting underneath the basket, making baskets. Right now, ugly offense for Dean.
Coming up upon 4 minutes to play in the first half. Elms still within striking distance, only down 12 as Feliciano has it on the right side, picked up by Clark. Screen coming from Smoot. Feliciano won't use it. On the drive, right-handed layup off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped, out of bounds off of Cadell. And the Bulldogs will get it back.
Under 4-minute timeout now.
So another quick media break. And Justin, we talked about the rebounding that's been a bit of an Achilles heel for the Bulldogs so far in this game. It hasn't come back to bite them yet, although a couple of lackluster possessions on the offensive end might have them worrying a little bit, do you think?
Yeah, and they're usually a pretty good rebounding team. They average 40.1 a game compared to Elms 39.3. So they're pretty even on the season in conference play, out of conference play. But right now, Elms is doing a nice job on the glass. And imagine if they made some layups. They've missed about 5 or 6 easy layups in this game. Right now, this score could be easily tied, but the Bulldogs are up 12. But this is exactly what they need. Dean needs to talk things over. These last 4 minutes of this first half are critical for the Bulldogs.
Alex, I want to bring you in here. You had a point earlier that you said that Elms, you'd expected a closer game, and right now, Elms hanging around here. What do you think?
Look, if you're Dean College right now, you can't let the inconsistency creep into this game, and that's what's happened in the last 3 minutes. They've allowed the little mistakes. They've allowed them to get away from their original game plan, utilizing Jordan Booker to the most of their capability to do so. Going forward, they have to find the consistency that they had at the beginning of this game.
Well, the lead stands at 12 right now, and this is kind of what we saw a couple of weeks ago, Justin, when we did a game against New England College when Dean took a 14-point lead into the half, was up by 17 to start the second half, and then the lead faltered as New England College was able to take that game on the road, and that's who's lying in wait for the winner of this game, so the Bulldogs must know that on the back of their mind, but they have to take care of business, and potentially could be why we're seeing some shaky possessions here. They're getting a little bit too ahead of themselves, but 3:50 to go in the first half as the Bulldogs will get the ball here. Clark on the baseline, looking to the corner for Powell. He fires away for three. Off every part of the rim and out as Smoot corrals the board. Up ahead now for Brown. Brown's layup no good. Thought he got a foul there on Powell, but not to be as Booker across half court again. Anderson, left wing three. It's good!
He needed that badly.
One of the premier three-point threats in the league, DeCaren Anderson, hitting from downtown.
That was great defense, too.
It absolutely was. Cadell trying to answer back. Way off the mark. Out of bounds.
And remember this point of the game, Dean up by 12. DeCaren Anderson with a huge three, and now Elms with an air ball. This is where Dean could push this game up to maybe even 20 points before halftime.
And this is the prime time for the Bulldogs to capitalize right here. A big momentum shift off the three from Anderson to put the lead up to 15.
No need to rush now if you're Booker. He has 4 turnovers in the game. He's been pretty good besides that. But now these last 3 minutes are huge.
Well, they call this a game of runs. Bulldogs trying to go on one right now. Potentially put some doubt in the Blazers' mind going into halftime, and that's a traveling violation against DeRozas.
He just didn't know what he was doing there. Didn't know if he was going to shoot. Thought he was going to pass for a second, and then just got a little confused. But turnover, you need to avoid those. You're up by 15. Play these last couple minutes nicely.
2:58 exactly as Elms inbounds to Lopez. Majority of the starters back into the game for head coach Rob Sudol. 39-24. Lopez working his way up to the three-point arc. Now on the drive, stripped from behind by Anderson. Turnover at half court again as Anderson lost the dribble. And now it's Connor to the corner for Adelin. His three, no good. Booker corrals the board.
Missed opportunity, wide open in the corner, just can't convert.
Booker way up ahead for Clark, steps past a defender and hits a three.
X factor, Kevin Clark, 3 threes from Clark.
Kevin Clark has been dynamite for the Bulldogs, and that's been the secondary source of scoring in addition to Booker. Smoot got stripped by Anderson, but another foul is going to go against the Bulldogs here.
That should be 3, I think, on DeCaren Anderson, right? Yeah, it's going on DeCaren Anderson.
And this is third. 3 points and 3 fouls for Anderson.
Coach is not happy with the senior.
A little bit over-aggressive here, Justin. That's what we talked about before coming on the air tonight, is that these guys can't play over-answer. They got to just play their game, and the rest will take care of itself. They've done that to a point, but eliminating the foul would certainly help their case.
And if you're Elms, you better make this free throw to get another one.
Smoot puts it up and in.
So Smoot now up to 5 points, only halfway to his average of 10.5. But Dean up by 16. This is where Elms needs to be careful if they want to have a chance in the second half.
And every opportunity crucial down the stretch in this first half for Elms to get any kind of momentum going into the second. As Smoot's second free throw bounces up and in. Gets the friendly bounce off the front of the rim. The Bulldogs by 15. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Booker around a screen from Terrazas, gives it to Anderson. Up fakes a three, takes a step in, and can't hit. As the rebound loose, and Cadell comes out of the pile with it. Lopez on the drive, right at Anderson. Wow, tough finish.
Almost got his 4th foul, too, to DeCaren Anderson.
Yes, he did. What a finish there from Lopez to cut the lead down to 13. Here's Booker. Working his way onto the wing, now backs out past the three-point arc. On the right side, Booker now at the free throw line, gives it to Powell left side, up fakes past a defender, layup won't go, and a foul is going to go against Smoot.
That's a beautiful play there by Trajan Powell. Faked a little jumper and then goes into the lane. The defender got a little confused there, and now that's 2 shots for Trajan Powell.
And Powell looking to score for the first time today at the free throw line. He's been known for his defenses, has been alternated in and out of the starting lineup. But he gets the nod here in the playoff opener as he hits the first free throw. Rexroth back into the game for Terrazas rather quickly. Terrazas about a minute and a half of action there, mainly for defensive purposes. The Bulldogs trying to hold on to this 14-point lead.
Quick timeout.
Are going to take a timeout here as Powell converts both free throws. It pushes the lead out to 15. We're going to take a quick break here on Power 88.
For AED, this is CDC Flu Radio Campaign. Spot name, Dinner Party, GP. Spot code AEDRADIO 1008D, 60-second stereo.
Isn't this dinner party wonderful? Jeanette and Bill did so much planning, and the house looks great.
Well, you know, it was almost canceled. Did you hear that Bill was really sick with the flu 2 weeks ago?
No, I had no idea. I've been so busy at work. But my coworker's toddler was in the hospital with flu, too. Is Bill okay?
It was pretty serious and aggravated his asthma. Bill got sick quickly with a high fever. Fortunately, Jeanette got him to the doctor right away. The doctor said it was flu and prescribed a medication that helped him get back on his feet.
I didn't know flu was so serious until I heard Bill say he felt like he'd been hit by a truck. He missed a big meeting.
Here at Peary Gymnasium with a minute and a half to go in the first half. Elms with the basketball, trailing by 15. Out of the Bulldogs timeout, Edelin into the corner where they're guarded by Powell. Way up past the three-point line to Cadell. Cadell works it down low to Connor. Left-handed layup, spins it home off the glass. Tough shot there from Connor, able to convert. Hasn't scored in a while, but up to 9 points on the game now. Lead down to 13.
They got to continue going to him. He was good early.
Under a minute now in the first half. Booker on the drive. Tough fadeaway shot, no good. Rebound. Rexroth corrals it on the baseline. Over to Clark, left side wing. Traffic over there, so Clark elects to pull it out. Now to Booker with 7 to shoot. Booker working against Cadell. Booker, 3 on the clock. Anderson's going to have to fire away off the side of the rim. No good, and the rebound to the Blazers.
Great
35
defense.
seconds in the half. Blazers on the move. Cadell shovels it back for Connor. Connor's left-handed layup, no good, and he'll draw the foul.
And the great defense was the reason why they got a good look on offense on that possession. Nice defense, probably the best of the game so far from the Blazers. A chance to cut this now to 11, inching closer and closer are the Blazers.
Well, the Bulldogs now up to 9 team fouls here in this first half. They lead by 13, make it 12, as Connor converts the first free throw.
10 points for him.
2 of those 10 have come at the line, trying to make it 3 right now. Second is good.
Now a timeout on the other side.
The Blazers are going to take a timeout. They're first of the first half with 30.5 seconds left. We're going to keep it here, Justin. And if you had to criticize one thing for the Bulldogs on defense, what would it be so far? Because we've seen a couple of runs from each side so far, and the Bulldogs able to maintain this lead so far, but if they want to lock it up, what do they have to do?
Right now, just like I said the whole entire game, I think it's their interior defense. Right now, their outside defense has been pretty good. They're guarding the three-point line very effectively, and Elms just can't get any good looks, really, besides a couple on the three-point line. But their inside defense really not too good so far. Connor lighting it up from the inside. It should be more, but right now it's down to 11 points. Dean's defense needs to be better. Also, their rebounding just hasn't been that good.
Now the rebounding, we touched upon it a little bit earlier. 40 on the season average for the Bulldogs. Elms just a couple of ticks under that at 39.3. So both teams even on the glass, but not on the scoreboard.
Big last possession.
Bulldogs by 11 and the ball. About a half-second difference game in shot clock. Booker, top of the key, inching his way toward the three-point arc. Now backs off with 15 to shoot. Booker, right-hand dribble in between the circles. Shimmy shaking it against Cadell. Booker working his way to the left wing. Will fire for 3. Off the mark. No good. Rebound. Stolen away by Powell. Flips it underneath to Clark for 2. And that'll end the first half. Kevin Clark has been the spark for the Bulldogs in the starting lineup next to NECC Player of the Year Jordan Booker. And the first half comes to an end. Bulldogs up 13, 45 to 32. And Justin, just your overall thoughts on the first half so far on the offensive end for both teams.
I'd give the Bulldogs a B overall. They're up by 13 points. That's the good news. The bad news is their interior defense needs to be better. Their rebounding needs to be better. But right now, the Bulldogs have Elms in position right now. The Bulldogs could have had this game to 20 points, in my opinion. It's 13 right now. Kevin Clark, the X factor for Dean in the first half. Let's see what he can do in the second half. Jordan Booker needs to be a little more careful with the basketball, not turning it over. He has 4 turnovers. Overall, a good first half for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely, and we have Alex standing by with assistant coach Joe Cabral. Let's send it down to Alex right now. Alex, what do you have for us?
Coach Dean has a 13-point lead at halftime. How should they and how can they continue the momentum in the second half of this game?
We're going to defend. We're going to prevent straight line drives. We're going to limit them to one shot. They're all over the offensive glass. We're not finding bodies to drive them out. So that's going to be the key to the second half. Sliding our feet, staying in front, defending without fouling. It's all going to come down to defense who's going to win the game.
How important is that fighting and fight for the glass that you were just speaking of?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely been on the same page the last couple of weeks. We're playing the right way, playing together. We've had great leadership from our upperclassmen, so we got to continue that. You know, we got 20 minutes of basketball left. Hopefully we'll finish the right way.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for that lovely interview with Coach Joe Cabral. We'll see if the Bulldogs can control the glass in the second half. That'll just about do it for us here in the first half, but stick around for the halftime show with Bryce Antox, George Hathaway, and Austin Dakuda. For Justin Miller and Brendan Howe, we'll see you in the second half in just a little bit.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Is getting a real ID on your to-do list? It should be if you're planning to fly in the U.S. next year. And it especially should be if you're one of the 99 million people who won't be able to pass through airport security because you're not real ID ready. 57% of Americans don't know that starting on October 1st, 2020, all U.S. travelers will be required to show a new type of driver's license generally marked with a star in the upper right-hand corner. This is real ID. Take out your license. If you don't see a star, it's time to head to the DMV or make sure you have another form of identification. Attention students. Apply now for the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association Student Broadcaster Scholarship, and you could be awarded $2,500 toward the 2020-2021 academic year. You must be a Massachusetts resident with a declared major in the communications field and currently enrolled or planning to enroll in a broadcast program at an accredited 2- or 4-year college. Deadline to apply is Friday, April 17th. WGAO is a proud participant in the MBA Student Broadcaster Scholarship. For an application, visit massbroadcasters.org/scholarship. That's massbroadcasters.org/scholarship. This has been a public service message of Power 88.
Back to Pieri Gymnasium in the NECC first round men's basketball conference matchup between Dean College and Elms College. I'm Bryce here with Austin and George. It is currently 45-32, Dean with the lead at halftime. We've seen some ups and downs from both teams. some sloppy play, some incredible individual performance by who else but Jordan Booker. Starting off, not missing a shot through his first 13 points. And we've seen some nerves by Elms for sure, especially as we talked about in the pregame, how with not much to go by, they haven't really played in a playoff game in so long. And we saw the nerves, we saw the shakiness, and Dean is taking full advantage of it. Austin, what are your immediate thoughts after the first half?
Well, it was an impressive first half, to say the least. I mean, Dean started out nice and hot. The crowd definitely played a factor into this game. And Jordan Booker was hot to start, and that was one of the keys that we talked about in the pregame. Booker now with 15 points on the game to go along with 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He started off hot. He missed his last 2 shots, but I don't expect that to carry over into the second half. He's a guy who can forget pretty quickly and have a new performance ready for the second half. But immediately, I mean, Kevin Clark pitched in like we talked about. We needed other role players to step up. Kevin Clark did that, and it should be a good second half as long as the team can keep pitching in to help Devin Booker.
Kevin Clark right behind Jordan Booker with 11 points as he had one right before we concluded to halftime. And looking at Elms College, they are 0 for 9 from beyond the arc. They have not hit a three-pointer this entire half. So one thing that I'm Elms and I'm coaching them, and one thing I tell them is that you guys need to take smarter shots and be just more composed when you're taking those shots, because being 0 for 9, and those shots were either wide left or like they would air balls or they just completely miss the bottom of the rim. So if you're Elms, you need to start making your shots now rather than later, because Dean's going to come out hot and come out strong once again.
And this crowd is going to be hot right off the bat. I mean,
for sure.
They want Dean to get up 20, 25, 30. They don't care if Dean wins by 75. They just are going to be hot and electric early. And the one thing you've got to do if you're Elms is you've got to play smart, as you just said. You have to go one possession at a time. You cannot try and get 13 points back in one shot. It's not possible. Mm-hmm. You've got to claw your way back in. Defensively, it's going to start on Booker. We saw some times when they double-teamed him, and they, for the most part, held him scoreless for the second part of that first half. And it's going to be about who is able to step up for Elms. How are they going to be able to face some adversity? And are they going to be able to stand up to the task, or are they just going to crumble and lose by 30?
Yeah, and it's smart shots, like we said, and a lot of the second part of the first half rather was forcing shots, and on both teams' parts there, Dean started to throw up some bad shots here and there. They got to continue to stay with the game plan, stay focused like they had been. And for Elms, they can't press the issue. You can't start throwing up threes. George, as you said, 0 of 9 from beyond the arc. And the way to get back into this game down 13 isn't to throw up more threes, right? It's to take good shots, have good shot selection, and stay smart, because they had a game plan coming in to prove something, to show Dean that they can contain Jordan Booker. And that's going to have to be the case in the second half here, is they can't let Booker get hot again, and they're going to have to take smart shots and have a better game plan offensively if they want to get back into this one trailing by 13 at the half.
One player I noticed for Elms College is Ahmad Connor, who has 11 points, 4 for 4 from the field, so he's having a good night for him. And I mean, if you need other players though for Elms to get going, just because you have Connor having 11 points, Lopez is right behind him with 9, but everybody else on that Elms Blazers roster has not been productive as what they've wanted to coming out of this game.
And it's a fun atmosphere, a fun game, a lot to look forward to in the second half. And I think all three of us are excited to see what Dean comes out with in the second half after being up. It's a difficult position to be in because you have everything to lose. Elms right now, their back's against the wall, but the pressure is not on them. It's on Dean to finish this game. And we've seen Dean, honestly choke games out earlier this year. New England College, they were up 17, and they lost by double digits still. This game is far from over, if you ask me. And from a player's perspective, you cannot be content until that clock has zeros on it. And no matter if you win by 1 or you win by 25, it's still a win at the end of the day.
Yeah, well said. It's a win at the end of the day, like you said, and Dean can't hold up, they can't pull up here. They have to put the pedal down and continue to attack the basket, continue to do what they've been doing, and find these other guys that can help out Jordan Booker like Clark did in the first half with 11 points and hitting 2 threes. And like you said, Bryce, you have to continue to press up the court with the ball. You can't, kind of get relaxed in the game plan. But at the same time, you don't want to force shots. So it's going to be a competitive second half, and I think, Elms has definitely got something that they're going to have to redo their game plan a little bit. They're going to come up with something new for Dean, and Dean's going to have to make an adjustment and continue to stick with their game plan and continue to let the offense play through Jordan Booker.
And if you're Dean, you're going to want to start taking less threes. You're 6 for 15 from beyond the arc, which isn't bad. I mean, shooting 40%, but you're going to want to get Joel Jones a center. A lot of action down low. He only has 4 points right now and 1 rebound, and he sat out for most of that first half. And if you're the Bulldogs, you're going to have to find another game plan than just besides giving it to Booker or Clark or Lynch Rexroth for 3, because you're going to have to try to set something up on offense, because at one point in the first half, Elms kind of caught on to that play of offense, the style of offense that Dean likes to play, and they ran a box and one on Booker, which kind of slowed down the pace. Dean likes to play a very fast-paced type of basketball, and they're going to have to try to get the ball down low to Joel Jones more.
Absolutely, and we're going to learn a lot about these teams in the first 5 minutes, but we will send it back to studio. I'm Bryce here with Austin and George from your halftime report here in Prairie Gymnasium, and now back to the studio and then to the second half.
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something.
I finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you. Your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
I work.
I work.
I work. And I want to keep working.
I work for the challenge.
Because people are counting on me to provide for my family.
And I'm employed today because we work together.
Work together.
Work together. When my life changed in an instant.
When I got hurt.
Needed support.
We made a plan.
So I could come back strong.
So I could stay in the game. Because we couldn't succeed without her.
It wasn't a matter if I could go back to work.
It was a matter of when and how.
Because working works.
Working works.
It lets me earn a living.
Be there for the teams. Together, we made a plan to keep me on the field for 2,632 games in a row.
To keep me working.
America works best when all Americans can work. Ensuring workers can stay on the job or return to work following an injury or illness is essential to America's economy. To learn more, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
I never get the flu.
My kids don't need more shots.
I don't have time.
We're all healthy.
My asthma's under control.
But I'm pregnant.
I've had the flu before. It's not a big deal.
My kids are too old for flu.
The media is exaggerating.
I can fight it naturally.
My diabetes, it's under control. No matter how you build your excuses, the flu can blow your house down.
I can't believe I used up all my sick time.
Getting ready to start the second half here at Peary Gymnasium on the campus of Dean College in Franklin, Massachusetts. It's round one of the NECC tournament with the Dean College Bulldogs leading the Elms College Blazers by 13. A score of 45-32 as we get ready to start the second half. Again, if you're just joining us, thank you very much for being along for the ride. Alongside Justin Miller, I'm Brendan Howe, Alex Fuse down on the sideline. And Justin, it was a very back and forth first half for the most part. A lot of scoring coming from both sides, but Jordan Booker and Kevin Clark, who has really been a surprise for the Bulldogs, leading the charge to this 13-point lead.
Booker leading the way like he usually does, and if Dean keeps it up, they'll be moving on to the second round. Let's see what happens in this second half.
Well, some work to do, 20 minutes to go as the Bulldogs will start off with the basketball as Booker drives it baseline. Tough shot off the glass is good. And picking up right where we left off in the first half, a quick bucket to start the second. And the lead up to 15 again, 47-32.
He started hot in the first half just like that.
Lopez to Cadell. Cadell to Smoot. Cadell now working against Clark, spins his way onto the block, down low for Edelin. His tough shot gets a friendly bounce off the back iron.
Nice ball movement by the Blazers on that possession.
Lead down to 13 as Booker worked his way into the front court. Booker on the drive, slips, and that'll be a travel.
Got to be a little careful. The floor was probably a little slippery there. Let's see if they go fix that problem, and they do. So 5 turnovers now for Booker. Needs to be a little more careful here.
And Booker shot 5 of 12 in the first half for 15 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists. So he's on triple-double watch here in this playoff bout.
You never know. He can do anything in these games. A long way to go, though. 13 isn't much in these types of games. Let's see what happens.
47-34 as it stands. Edelin to Smoot. Back to Edelin, but in between the circles. Now over to Cadell on the left wing. Back to Edelin. He'll fire away from way downtown. That shot no good. Rebound tipped by Clark to Rexroth, and Booker now off to the races. Booker on the drive. Tough shot. No good. Rebound finds Smoot, and here come the Blazers in transition. Lopez out ahead of the field. On the move. Dumps it off for Connor, and can't finish. And Rexroth comes away with it. Back and forth we go. Fast and furious action to start the second half. Booker got the step around a screen. Kicks it to the corner for Rexroth on the drive. Lefty layup, good. Count it, and a foul.
Wow, what a change there. They had a wide open, a 2-on-1 the Elms Blazers had on this end of the floor. They couldn't convert, missing an easy layup, and just like that, what a pass from Booker. And now an and one. Dean trying to get this lead now up to 16.
49-34 as the Mop will come out and wipe up the free throw line area once again as Rexroth gets set to head to the free throw line. Rexroth converted 1 of 2 in the first half at the charity stripe. Bulldogs trying to extend the lead out to 16. Would tie their largest of the game. And he does.
Bulldogs lead 50-34.
Rexroth averages over 25 minutes a game. Got the start here in this playoff nod. With 18-18 to go in the game. A 16-point lead for the Bulldogs. Lopez to the left corner for Smoot, who works it back to Lopez at the top of the key, guarded by Powell. Now a switch for Booker. Dumps it down underneath for Smoot. An easy layup.
Got to be better down low defending. No one there.
The interior D for the Bulldogs collapsing a bit there. The lead now down to 14. Fans still filing in as the second half continues. Booker's 3 is blocked. Tried to force it. Cadell able to meet him. Smoot the other way. Smoot to Edelin. Edelin for 3. Way off, an air ball as it travels out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will get it back.
They are way off on their three-point attempts tonight. The Blazers really not even coming close on these three-point shots as the baseball team screaming air ball right across from us.
Edelin hearing it from the crowd. That's a couple of threes in this first half he's been way off with. And the Bulldogs a chance to extend their lead to the largest of the game if they can hit a 3. Rexroth looking for Booker, finds them on the far side left. Booker spins away from Lopez. Tough runner off the glass, off the mark. Rebound finds Smoot, loses it in the backcourt for a moment, but corrals it as Booker goes into the stance. Blazers with numbers. Lopez to the corner, picked up by Rexroth nicely in transition. Lopez double team now with Rexroth and Booker on him. Pass to the corner, trying to get it to Edelin. But Booker was there, good anticipation, not able to corral the pass, however, for a turnover. And the Blazers will keep it.
Got to be careful with your passes, but when you're up by 14 points, the Bulldogs, they know what they're doing right now. It's time to play some defense. Lock down on the defensive side of the court.
17-10 to go in the game. The lead's still at 14. Connor backs his way out behind the three-point arc. Connor over for Edelin, picked up by Clark, back into the game for the Bulldogs. Edelin spinning at the free throw line. Tough fall away from the left elbow. That one way short as Terrazas corrals the miss, and now Booker in transition to Clark. 3. Gets the friendly bounce. Oh, Kevin Clark.
Have a game.
His 4th 3 of the game. Connor to Smoot. Smoot Tried to drive with it and kick it to the corner, but nobody there anticipating Edelin to catch the pass, and it sails out of bounds into the Elms bench. Another turnover.
Not going anywhere. That ball was going right into the first row, right over here in front of us on the bench where the Elms Blazers are watching the game.
And Booker. Tough three over Cadle and a foul. Jordan Booker from downtown. And a chance for a 4-point play.
That is a game changer. Make that a 20-point lead. Jordan Booker, player of the year in the conference, 8th for points per game in all of Division III basketball. He's putting on a show right now.
Unbelievable. A sensational performance from Jordan Booker. Who had 15 in the first half. A chance for 6 to get up to 21. And he does. Have yourself a day, Jordan Booker. 4 points behind his season average. That was 8th in all of Division III. There's Lopez, stripped from behind by Powell. Here come the Bulldogs on the move. Booker, pull-up three again. Can't knock it down, but Powell on the follow. Blocked from behind by the Blazers. Lopez ahead of the field, cherry-picking. He'll get it. No, an easy 2 miss, but Connor there to follow it up. Oh, wow. Connor bailing out his teammate there. And the fans in the stands across from us, the baseball team, going absolutely ballistic. 15:50 left. Booker on the move. Floater in the lane, short. Rebound. Out of bounds off of Powell. And a turnover, and we're going to get a 16-minute stoppage.
Really quick, I was talking to Showtime before the game, Davon Russell. Most of you know him as Showtime. And he was telling me he works at a juvenile detention center. It's called the Butler Center. It's actually in Westboro, called the Butler Center. And I'm going to give them a real shout out real quick. Davon Russell, everyone, all the kids there watching the game, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching tonight as the Bulldogs lead this one by 19 in the second half. Thanks for watching, guys.
Well, of course, we know Jordan Booker and Davon Russell very, very close. They've been playing together since 6th grade, and Jordan Booker trying to carry on the Dean Bulldogs to the second round. They fell short last year, but Booker would love nothing more than to propel his Bulldogs to another playoff game this year. They lead it by 19, 57-38. And Alex, I want to bring you in here. Let's get you involved for a moment here. What do you think of this 9-0 run by the Bulldogs here?
And to build off of Justin's point about Davon Russell, they created almost that mission last year. They did not complete that mission.
Right, never did.
But Jordan Booker and the team here tonight are trying to go further and to ultimately complete the ultimate goal, and that is to move on through the first round and to hopefully win a championship this year.
Got to take it one game at a time, but that's the goal in the end. And you can see Davon Russell's name over there, 1,000-point scorer here at Dean alongside Jordan Booker. 2 names, 2 great players here in Dean College basketball history.
1,188 points for Davon Russell, who was just a dynamite scorer. And fellow teammate Jordan Booker, now the all-time leading scorer in Bulldog history, trying to do what he can to get the Bulldogs to the second round. Here the Blazers in possession of the ball, trailing by 19, and in need of some immediate offense as Cadell spins to the basket. There's a start.
Good spin move there.
As Cadell's got himself his first points of the second half, up to 6 for the game, lead down to 17. Bulldogs trying to silence the Elms offense as they work it around to Rexroth, trying to put the pedal to the metal as Rexroth's fadeaway is good.
Tough shot.
And Rexroth pumping himself up. He's got 5 here in the second half. Lopez gives it to the corner for Connor, working against Terrazas. Now back to Lopez. Stutter steps past Clark. In between the legs of Terrazas, the pass down low to Cadell, but his layup was off the mark. Here's Booker to the corner. Clark, triple, in and out. Nearly got it to fall. And here comes Smoot the other way. Shake and bake, pass Powell into the forecourt. Smoot on the drive, layup good.
Watch out. What a play, coast to coast, left to right. That is a nice play for the Elms Blazers right there.
That was a heck of a drive, as now the official coming over to give an explanation to Coach Cabral here.
Don't know what the heck he's talking about.
They're getting an explanation from the scores table here. I believe Coach Cabral wanted a travel violation, but obviously that cannot be undone.
They're getting ready to do some substitutions, but What? A flop warning on Kevin Clark, number 10 for the Bulldogs. That's the call.
That's the first time I've seen that. That's what Coach Ram Suthal was begging for, was that Clark acted like he got elbowed and Smoot was nowhere near him. But Clark gets a flop warning. First time that's been issued here for Dean this season. I can tell you that for a fact. Bulldogs by 17. Terrazas top of the key now over to Sampek. New entry into the game as well as to Karen Anderson. Sampek shovels it to Rexroth. Right elbow jumper is good.
He does not miss those shots.
Smooth as silk. Jordan Rexroth. Back in transition of the Bulldogs on defense, and another foul is going to go against Terrazas this time as Lopez tried to sneak by baseline.
And you know what? In that situation, it's not the worst foul right there. Could have avoided an easy layup, and you're up by 19 points. I'll take that foul if I'm the Bulldog center.
61-42. Joel Jones on the bench. Haven't seen him in a while here in the second half as the inbound comes to Connor. Smoot gives it to Cadell. Cadell, free throw line, gives it to Connor. Spins past Terrazas to the bucket.
He's been really nice today. First half, second half, have a game. They're down by 17, though.
That's a big-time move from Cadell right there to get the lead down to 17. Booker's pass to Rexroth, tipped out of bounds off the hand of Lopez. Bulldogs will retain possession side out just in front of the grandstands. 13:46 to go in the game.
Fast-moving second half.
Rexroth, right-hand dribble, spinning against Lopez. Fall-away jumper was able to go, but a traveling violation first.
Lynch Rexroth, he's just a lot improved from last season. Heck of a year. Second team all-conference for a reason.
Edelin to the corner now for Connor, picked up by Terrazas. Connor wheels it back to the top of the key for Lopez. Lopez on the drive, corner for Cadell, now on the wing for Connor, takes a step into the free throw line, and he traveled with it. Those are steps, definitely.
That's an easy call, travel. Everybody in the arena could see it. Campus safety could see it. We could see it over here. That's good defense by the Bulldogs.
The fans in the rafters could see it.
Yeah.
13-12 to go in the game. Browns had to check back in for the Blazers, but a steal from Connor first. As he lost the handle, Booker came up from behind. Connor perhaps not expecting him, but Booker able to poke it away and get it right back. Anything you can do, I can do better. Booker to Rexroth. On the baseline for Terrazas. His shot no good, but the rebound finds the hands of Rexroth right away and puts it back up and in.
No boxing out for the Blazers. Nobody wants to stop Rexroth in this second half.
He has been absolutely superb. The leading scorer for the Bulldogs in the second half as Edelin fires away for three and hits over Anderson. Tough shot by Edelin. He's got 7 in the game, 5 here in the second half, and the lead down to 16 as Trajan Powell gets set to check back in. Sampek to Anderson. Thought about a three, instead tries to take it on the drive, but lost the handle. Lopez with Booker in transition, and Lopez gets 2.
Timeout. That's a good timeout by Coach Cabral right there.
Timeout Bulldogs. Coach Cabral taking his first of 4 here in the second half with 12:14 to go. And the lead down to 14. And Justin, here we go again. Elms starting to get some momentum here as we head toward the midway point in the second half here.
Elms is having a real problem getting this game to single digits. They have plenty of time, 12 minutes and 14 seconds left. But if you're the Blazers, you want to get this game to single digits by the 10-minute mark. You're only down by 14. You have plenty of time, and that's a good timeout by Coach Cabral. Dean played good for the first 5 or 6 minutes in the second half, but a couple of lazy turnovers on these last couple of possessions. You got to calm down. You got to play better basketball on offense and defense. You have them right where you want to be right now, but nothing stupid right now on these last couple possessions.
Well, while we have a minute here, let's update you on the women's team who is also in the playoffs. The number 5 seed, they have traveled to number 4 Becker College. They are currently down 61-46. That's a third quarter winding down there for the women's team on the road. So a comeback will be necessary if the women want to continue, but for the Bulldogs, it's all about maintaining this 14-point edge right now. Alex, let's bring you in quickly before the timeout here.
I just want to update fans that are listening that aren't sure of this new rule that was just implemented in the 2019-2020 season for the NCAA of the flop warning. It should be noted that once a flop warning is made, if there is one delay of game and then a flop, then it becomes a Class B technical. Teams will get one warning for a delay of game. That's what we saw. And then the second is a technical foul. It's a new rule implemented to get rid of flopping in the game of basketball.
Okay, so something to keep an eye on as Kevin Clark has already been issued one. Has the ball right now, top of the key. 11:58 to go. They give it to Powell right side on the wing. Powell working against Brown. Strong take to the cup, no good. Rebound by Tyrone Smith-McRae. Trying to fire it back out to Booker, and pass intercepted by Lopez at half court. Gets it off the carom. Lopez on the drive right at Sampek. A wild shot,
what a
no
rebound.
good. And a good rebound by Edelin. He'll take a three. Short off the front of the rim, and Lopez called for an over the back.
Jeez, they had a couple of chances there. Get this to 12 points. They just couldn't do it. Smith-McRae commits a turnover coming into the game. The Blazers had a chance right there, but they just can't convert.
And we're going to get a 12-minute media stoppage here. We're going to take it. We'll send it back to the studio on Power 88. Bulldogs by 14. Don't go anywhere.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I could really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside Peary Gymnasium. Coming off the media timeout, Bulldogs 63, Elms 49. 11 and a half minutes to go in this first round NECC playoff matchup. Bulldogs in possession of the basketball and 11 and a half minutes to remaining. Booker working against Feliciano, newly entered into the game for the Blazers. Booker slips, no travel call there. That should have been one as Rexroth gets to the cup. Count it, and a foul. Oh, man. The Bulldogs locked out that time.
He is really tough. A consistent player for the Bulldogs all season. Kind of reminds me of Brandon Bass when he played for the Celtics. Always consistent out there. Lynch Rexroth doing everything the right way here tonight.
Now Lynch Rexroth, 8 of 8 from the field. He has been absolutely spectacular. He's been Mr. Consistency for the Bulldogs this season. And converts at the free throw line. Rexroth has been locked in tonight. Now up to 19 points on the game. Feliciano against Powell, now switch for Clark. Feliciano to the corner for Brown. Brown picked up by McRae, pass nearly intercepted by Powell. Down low onto the block for Smoot, who gets fouled by McRae.
That's just good positioning by Kewan Smoot. Nice job getting to the middle of the court, realizing the Dean defense was playing a little back. The zone defense wasn't too good on that possession. It's going to make him get 2 shots now, down 17.
Kewan Smoot has been an igniter for the Elms offense all season. Trying to get himself going here in the second half as Ahmed Connor checks back in favor of DJ Edelin. Chance to cut the lead down to 15 with 11 minutes to go. And Justin, still a ton of time here for Elms to make a run.
Plenty of time, but they better make a run fast.
Second free throw off the mark. Rebound was batted off the rim and now into the hands of Rexroth into the forecourt for the Bulldogs. Powell gives it to Booker. Booker, the leading scorer in the game with 21. Looking for McRae and finds him as he backs up the three-point arc. Now Clark, top of the key between the circles, guarded by Lopez. For Rexroth, left side on the elbow. Now off the right side, his fall-away jumper is good.
He is tough.
9 of 9 from the field is Rexroth. In transition, Lopez to the basket. That shot no good, no foul call. Clark in transition. Thought about pulling up for a three. Instead, we'll give it to the corner for Powell, who'll take it baseline, stripped from behind by Feliciano, and no call. Back and forth we go as Lopez gets his layup to go off the glass.
Pretty consistent player so far tonight, making his layups, doing a nice job. You're down by 16 points. You need a lot more points out of him.
And they need a lot more defense, too, as Booker got the step to the basket and the finish.
Can't stop that. Russell Westbrook-like to the basket.
Took the contact all the way. Now here's Feliciano in transition. His layup is off the mark. Rexroth out to Clark in transition. Pull up three. Rebound to McRae. Now Powell to Booker on the left wing. Far side. Around a Rexroth screen. Booker to the paint. Can't convert. And the rebound goes to Brown. Now it's Lopez for Elms. In transition. Left corner three. Feliciano. No. Rebound McRae and now Booker. 18-point lead for the Bulldogs. 9.5 to go in the game.
Nice job slowing it down a little bit.
Clark holds in between the circles against Lopez. Now fires across court to the left side for Powell, who works it back to Booker in the corner.
Gotta move.
7 to shoot. Booker tried to take it baseline, stripped out of bounds, knocked out by Smoot. As Nick Sampek will re-enter the game for Kevin Clark.
Now you got 6 seconds, so you got to have one of two plays coming out of the timeout. Cabral telling him what to do right now, up by 18 points. Let's see who they go to here.
And any bucket crucial toward putting that final nail in the coffin against Elms. Booker to inbound left side of his own basket. Does so to McRae. An easy layup off the inbounds. Oh, man. Elms fell asleep on defense that time.
Nothing they could do about that. Just nobody guarding him on the layup.
Pass to Connor on the free throw line. Drew a foul against Powell as Rexroth converged with his fellow teammate. A little bit over antsy trying to get the basketball. Dean by 20 here.
And now it's Booker and Sampek in the backcourt together.
Feliciano will fire away from the corner off the front of the rim as Booker went up the ladder to get the rebound against a much taller Brown. Impressive board there as Booker coming across half court. Got the step into the paint. Floater no good. Booker wanted a foul, didn't get it, and now Lopez with a 2-on-1 against Sampek, and the pass goes out of bounds. Wow, a costly turnover there that looked like it was surefire points for the Blazers.
Great job by Tyrone Smith-McRae. They had a 2-on-1. Tyrone Smith-McRae hustling all the way back, forces the turnover. Nice defense by him off the bench.
72-52. The Bulldogs 4-0 this season when they hold a lead of 20 or more. Booker around a Rexroth screen. On the drive into the paint. Dumps it back to Jordan for two. Jordan times two on that bucket. And is Rexroth able to convert?
Just can't miss right now.
10 of 10 as Feliciano fires. His three no. Smoot had it for a minute. And then Rexroth came away with the board. Now to Booker across half. 8:10 to go in the game.
No need to rush.
The Bulldogs can almost smell it. Powell on the wing. Guarded by Brown left side. Now gives it to Sampek. Lopez tried to intercept. Booker will take it baseline against Connor. Reverse layup is good. Jordan Booker showcasing the athleticism on that drive.
You realize how hard that is to do? That is not an easy thing to do if you're Booker.
Bulldogs by 24, make it 22 as Connor converts the layup. 76-54 with 7.5 left. And now the Bulldogs can just start to slow it down and chew some clock, but Powell's going to elect to fire away, and he connects. Trajan Powell up to 4 in the game. Half of those coming on that jumper right there. Joel Jones up off the Bulldog bench as they work it into Connor on the right block. Spins his way through McRae, but the layup off the underside of the backboard. Booker in transition, right-handed dribble, loses the handle, and a foul is going to go against the Blazers.
Looks like a foul before he lost the handle. The Bulldogs are doing everything right now.
Some substitutions coming here from Elms. We'll get an 8-minute stoppage here. Justin, you just talked about it. Everything going right for the Bulldogs right now. They lead it by 24 points as we head toward a conclusion in this game with 7 minutes. The Bulldogs can almost smell a date with NEC on Thursday. What do they have to do to try and close this out?
Right now, you just got to keep on doing what you've been doing for mostly the entire game. As you've realized, the rebounding wasn't good for the Bulldogs in the first half. Much better in the second half. Everybody is doing good in their own role. The bench even getting into it. Most importantly, it's been Jordan Lynch-Rexroth in the second half. He has been the man for Dean. Probably the player of the game. Jordan Booker in the first half. Maybe Jordan Lynch-Rexroth. I'd say it is him. Jordan Lynch-Rexroth putting on a show. Second team all-conference for a reason. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, but it's looking like it's going to happen here tonight.
Alex, what are your thoughts on this game? Bulldogs by 24 right now. They have been on a roll as of late.
You know, right now, we're all focused on DJ Whaley with this shot. Again,
you know what?
He
You're
played
right.
on this team
right.
earlier this season. This is for $500.
I believe that
And
his final attempt is over here.
Well, to quickly answer your question, what Dean has done is what they had in their textbook coming into tonight. They have been able to do everything they've wanted to do besides those 2 minutes back in the first half. That momentum got away with them. But that happens with any team. So, again, they still have 7 minutes left. That's what they're going to have to do. Continue their textbook.
Thanks, Alex.
They give it to Sampeck. Booker for three, top of the key, back rim. Joel Jones nearly corralled the miss. And it goes to the Blazers. Here comes Smoot. Wild dribble into the paint. Left-handed layup off the glass. Too strong with it, but Rexroth, I believe, picked up a foul there. Smoot will head to the line.
Reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to go on the slip and slide in my backyard. He was slipping and sliding to the basket on that last play. This floor is getting really slippery out here.
And these guys have been going at it all night long. Smoot's first free throw in and out. Joel Jones gets the miss, but a whistle.
A little confusion.
Might have been a lane violation. That's exactly what it'll be. Jones stepped over the line as he shares a laugh with the official. Maybe courtesy of that slip and slide, Justin.
Yeah, maybe he heard me.
Smoot hits a second free throw. 78-55 the score. Pass tipped away from Rexroth by Smoot. Working against Booker in transition. Another wild dribble here as he goes into the paint. And Jones will pick up the foul this time, so Smoot right back to the free throw line.
Jones started the game. He hasn't played that much really in the second half, but still he's doing a good job fulfilling his role. He tends to foul a lot sometimes, though. Only his first.
And that's something that we talked about early on in the game, Justin. The Bulldogs were going to have to stay out of foul trouble if they wanted any level of success in this game. Smoot hits the first free throw, and they've done a nice job of that throughout the second half, and that's what's led to them being able to extend this lead out so far. Smoot hits the first free throw to get the lead down to 22. Trying to make it 21 here, and he does.
Making their free throws now in the second half, but really, it's 21 points now.
It might be too little too late with 6.5 minutes left. 78-57. Booker against Feliciano. Pull-up three. No good. Rebound to Sampeck. Right back up with it. In and out. Booker crashes the boards. But the rebound goes to Smoot, who races across half court. Sampeck gives it in transition. Is that layup no good, off the mark by Macklin.
Watch out for Booker.
Booker weaves his way in between three defenders on the drive, and he'll be called for a travel as he tried to work his way into the paint there.
One too many steps. I can see my dad signaling from across the gym to slow it down. I think he's right. By the way, happy birthday over there.
Nice shout out to Mr. Miller over there.
But yeah, slow it down. Coach Cabral is saying to slow it down as well. You're up by 21.6 minutes left. Come on.
And he's absolutely right. Bulldogs just got to hang on to try and close this out as the defense trying to do what they can here on a three. Well off the mark from Ramos. They get it back to Brown on the left wing, and he'll hit a three. Nicholas Brown only averages 6 points on the season. He's got half of that total now as the lead down to 18. As Booker triple teamed on the right wing. They give it to Rexroth at the free throw line. Now onto the right elbow. Kicks it back out for Powell. Underneath now on the left block for Jones. Jones' right-handed runner no good as Clark able to steal it away. Clark underneath for Rexroth, and they'll convert the layup.
Beautiful play.
Suffocating defense in the backcourt there.
Kevin Clark's had a really, really good game. 22 points last time these two teams played. Having a great game, especially in his first half.
Feliciano to Ramos for three, and he hits. Wow. Ranieri Ramos off the bench for Elms.
Good shot.
Down to 17, 80-63. Booker into the paint. Tough floater, no good. Blocked from behind, partially by Feliciano, who has it in transition. He'll fire away for three. Off the mark. Rebound crashing the boards as Ramos. No good off the underside of the backboard, and now Booker in transition. 2-on-1. He'll slow it down. Booker to the corner. Clark for three. Bang!
Wide open in the corner. What a pass from Booker. Too easy for the Bulldogs.
I believe they're going to rule that a two as Clark's foot was on the line. That's what they're crediting for right now as Ramos fires from the left corner. Rebound finds Clark. 4:10 to go. And Booker will slow the pace down and jog it across half court. Now takes it on the drive into the paint. Right-handed flip shot is good off the glass.
He got hit too.
Yes, he did. Was looking for a foul, didn't get it. 3:55 left. Feliciano to Ramos. Ramos will back it out. Now to Smoot. Smoot will fire away. No. Rebound underneath. That was Macklin who had it. Now gives it back to Ramos left side. He'll take it baseline. Jumper over Jones connects.
Nice shot. Nice job coming off the bench here in the second half, giving them some energy.
But Elms might be out of time with just 3.5 minutes left. And down by 19. DeCaren Anderson up off the bench for Rico to set the check back in as Clark fires for three. No good. Jordan. Booker underneath trying to grab the board as Clark trying to draw a charge on Brown in transition. The foul's going to go against number 10 in maroon and white.
And Coach Cabral is looking at him like, come on, you're up by 19 points. Get back and play some defense.
No need for that. And we're going to get a 4-minute media stoppage here. This has been one heck of a game on both sides of the court for the Bulldogs. 84-65 right now. And the Bulldogs seem to be Elms' kryptonite. Elms has never beaten the Bulldogs. 6-0 is Dean all-time versus the Blazers since Elms has entered the conference 3 years ago. Bulldogs, of course, defeating Elms twice before this season, 107-98 and 79-67 respectively. And Alex, Bulldogs looking to push it to 7-0, and they're getting very, very close here to a date with New England College on Thursday.
Right, but still 3 minutes and 13 seconds left of this playoff game. You can't just close the book on Elms College yet. While yes, it looks like in the Bulldogs' favor, but you can't just start just saying, okay, it's over. You still have to play till the end of the game.
I'm not closing the book yet. I'm close.
No, Elms is not closing the book yet either. Coach.
You never know, really. You've seen some massive comebacks, college, in the NBA, high school basketball.
You just never know.
It ain't over till it's over.
Until that clock hits triple zeros, Elms believes they have a chance. Feliciano brings it across half court. Cross court now for Ramos. Ramos to Feliciano again. Bulldogs going with a zone attack here, a 3-2 look. Clark and Anderson now, they swell to the corner. And stepping away with a fadeaway jumper is McLean, and he hits.
Now they're making their shots, but 17-point lead. It's going to be hard for Dean to give up now.
And Elms deploying a press against Booker, who skips across half court, no problem. Still 20 to shoot. 2:37 to go in the game. Bulldogs 84-67 as Jones finds a hole in the defense underneath.
Over his average, already has 6 points in this playoff game.
2.5 to go. Elms running out of time. They need offense in a hurry. Feliciano to the corner now for Ramos. Ramos will take a step in off the baseline. His jumper in and out. Rebound to Jones. And Booker takes it in the backcourt.
Now they're going to take the air out of the ball with 2 minutes to go.
Booker fires away for three and hits. That could be the dagger. Jordan Booker has been unbelievable for the Bulldogs this season and showing up again in this playoff game as Feliciano misfires on a three that'll go out of bounds off of the connector cable of the shot clock. 22-point game, 1:50 to go.
Time for substitutions.
Rex Roth will check out. Terrazas back in. Sidney Kennedy also in the game for Clark. And this mainly for defensive purposes. Avion Blow also getting set to check in, as well as Jabre Griffin up off the bench for Coach Cabral.
A big round of applause.
There it is, the senior player of the year in the NECC, Jordan Booker, getting his recognition from the crowd. And there you hear the chant from the crowd. Jordan Booker deserves every bit of it and then some. Avion Blow into the game to take his place. The Bulldogs will wind this one down. So the Bulldogs will advance to face New England College on Thursday. That game's set for 8 o'clock. There's a layup underneath from Wilson, no good. Way up ahead here for the Blazers. That layup converted. That's Bryson Looney, the freshman off the bench, getting some action. Down to 20 with 1:20 to go.
And a lot of the guys you see in the game right now for Dean will get some more playing time next year, especially with Booker leaving. I've liked what I've seen from Avion Blow.
Kennedy step back three off the mark. Rebound comes to Elms. Here comes McLean. Working against Blow. And 1 minute left as McLean fires away and hits. And Caleb McLean, who saw some minutes in the first half, didn't score. Now has 5 in the final minute. His Blow will work it across half with 53 seconds left. The Bulldogs with 3 in double figures as that shot off the mark. Runner in the lane from Blow. Couldn't get it to go as Elms brings it across half with 42 seconds left. And McLean again from downtown.
Jeez. Making their shots now, but a complete performance by the Bulldogs. Rebounding was a struggle to start this game, but they figured things out in the second half.
89-75, some garbage time points here from Elms down the stretch. And stripped away again by McLean.
And Anderson's hurt.
McLean to the basket. Convert with 19.7 left. And DeCaren Anderson will go right to the locker room. Not sure what happened there as Dominic Chioda will check in, and Anderson punched the wall in frustration and went right around the corner down the stairs to the locker room.
Yeah, that basket should have counted. The referee called a quick timeout when he saw Anderson was hurt, and they count the basket.
Inbound comes to Chioda with 18 seconds left. Dominic will work it across half and give it to Wilson. And Blow will hold it for the last 10 seconds. And that'll do it. The Bulldogs win. 89-77 the final. And Jordan Booker gets his first playoff win here in the NECC. And the Bulldogs will advance to face New England College on Thursday night. That game's set for prime time and 8 o'clock. Justin, a complete performance top to bottom from the Bulldogs in this game. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, do you want to talk about a complete performance? That is a complete performance by the Bulldogs. Jordan Booker leading the team. Jordan Lynch Rexroth also leading the team. Both Jordans outstanding tonight. Kevin Clark was my X factor coming into the game. He was phenomenal. First half he was great. Second half he was great. And Jordan Booker, player of the year in the conference for a reason. Jordan Lynch Rexroth on the second team all-conference. Everyone that played in this game played really well. The Bulldogs have their work cut out for them. A tough New England College team coming up next. But right now, Dean College, heck of a win here tonight. They really played well.
They absolutely did. Alex, your final thoughts before we go off the air here tonight. A great win for the Bulldogs here in the opening round.
You know, 3 things. They were able to take advantage of the opportunity, limited Elms' transition opportunities by sprinting back and forth and locating those shooters, and also winning the battle on the glass. And again, that was the most crucial point. And when it comes to Jordan Booker, and we see talented players like these in all different sports all the time, and sometimes those athletes, you know, shine themselves. But the thing that should be noted about Jordan Booker, he's a team player. And Dean would not be where they are winning championship games and playoff games like tonight without him.
No, they would not. The 9th 30-point performance of the season from Jordan Booker. He has been absolutely spectacular. He finishes the game with 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 12 assists to go